It's been 2 days since the new homeowner went inside this front door, and he says he found a dead body in a back bedroom. I want to show you right now what things are looking like. If you look over here, you can kind of see this sparkly, it almost looks like glitter, and I'm touching it here, and it's definitely a thin layer of ice here that's accumulated over some of the crops. This room is electric right now and has been over the past 10 minutes or so since the AP called Rick Scott the winner of this governor's race. A really tight race, and the crowd behind us has been going nuts. They've been chanting. We've been hearing 4 more years over and over again from the crowd here. It's almost been 24 hours since police say Myron May parked his car a few blocks away on campus and walked right through the front door here at Stroger Library. Patrick, this is where the loading zone is behind the Grace Community Center, and this is where the truck was parked on Tuesday night. Now, on Wednesday morning, that's just 1 day before Thanksgiving. Volunteers said they came here and this lot was empty, and you can see all of this glass that was scattered in its place. Just about in the last half hour, crews have finally been able to bring this boat out of the water. You can see behind me, the boat is hanging here in the launch pad area. Crews say right now they're draining water, fuel, and other chemicals that could still be inside the boat. Well, guys, it was a heated meeting tonight here inside the school district. The big question tonight, who should be in charge of your children's testing, teachers or the school district? So we're just seeing some movement here in the last couple of minutes. I want you to take a look behind me. This really big SWAT truck, it's just hidden behind the trees. We just saw officers in full uniform with guns drawn get out of that vehicle and make some movements to the house.
Like people say, I was scared to death. I never knew what that feeling was till last night.
A quiet night of studying turning into sheer terror for FSU freshman Daniel Morales. He had been inside the Stroger Library for a few hours when he heard muffled sounds and alarms go off.
This man came running like 30 seconds later. He's like, there's someone has a gun, like run.
Daniel says he dropped everything and ran into a back room on the second floor with about 100 other students.
They're screaming and crying. You can just see the terror in their faces.
Once inside, Daniel and about a dozen others piled furniture in front of the door, not knowing exactly what was going on, but hoping it would help keep them safe.
Our fears were confirmed when, on the loudspeaker, a police officer said that there was a gunman on the loose in the library. And at that point, just my mouth went dry.
While Daniel and others prayed and called loved ones, police say FSU grad and Texas lawyer Myron Mays was in the downstairs lobby with an automatic handgun, where he shot 3 males, sending 2 to the hospital. Police say his journals and videos show he was a, quote, man in crisis, writing he wanted to bring attention to the issues of targeting. But there are still a lot of unanswered questions.
We have not found any information at this time to indicate why he chose this morning to act, or why he chose the Stroger Library as the place for his actions.
Megan Malley and her friends say they were planning on going to the library to study last night, but call it fate. They changed their minds.
For some reason, our other roommate and us, we decided, let's not stay. It's cold, let's stay in. And we stayed in, and honestly, it was crazy, because I have children now talking about it.
Still in shock, like many of the students who came out to sit on the front lawn outside the library today, and especially for those who were inside.
Never did I think, ever in my whole life, that this would happen, my freshman year, here at FSU.
Pulling back the tarp, it's the moment of truth at Buckingham Farms.
As I lifted that tarp and I saw it was actually frozen, I'm like, this is worse than I thought.
The farm saw some of the coldest temperatures in years. Even Booger the tortoise is trying to stay warm. Farm owner TJ Kenamela starts to survey the damage.
We're going to have some damage on the lettuce. I mean, the cell wall was damaged, it was frozen, and it's going to eventually die.
The lettuce on the ends of the rows had the most damage. You can even see a thin layer of ice on these cauliflower leaves.
It's not a total loss. It's a shame we lost some, but it's not something that we're going to go out of business on.
Sturdier veggies like collard greens, cabbage, and kale made it through the night okay. When you're preparing for stuff like this, what's going through your head like yesterday?
Well, to protect as many crops as we can. We've got the berries here. These are just beautiful right now, and you know, we want to make sure they don't freeze.
The farm says they used $10,000 worth of these freeze tarps to cover most of the crops last night, and they say it's the first time they've even taken the tarps out of the barn in years. But the tarps can't save everything, and depending on how many crops were lost across the state, you could feel the effects next time you buy produce at the grocery store.
I have a feeling that you'll see this a little bit in prices. I really do.
It's an unthinkable tragedy for Jovante Mabin.
I heard the gunshots. I didn't know who it was at first until my mother called me. She told me, she said, the baby cousin got shot.
His baby cousin, 5-year-old Andrew Faust, who was inside a back bedroom in this home on Cuba Street Monday night when shots rang out. Police aren't sure who the intended target was, but these bullet holes show where shots entered the home, killing Andrew. Mabin laid a card at the memorial set up for the little boy.
I said today, tomorrow, and always.
He says he last saw Andrew hours before the shooting on his way home from Franklin Park Elementary School.
He had a very bright smile on his face, very cheerful.
Mabin says Andrew loved toy cars and playing outside with his mom and siblings. Neighbors say they just moved into the home a few months ago.
Yes, he was a gorgeous young boy, very active. He didn't deserve to go like that.
Police were still on scene Tuesday, waist deep in a canal lining Ford Street, searching for evidence. It's an area known for violence, but this time neighbors say enough is enough.
Well, if anyone knew what happened, I think they should start talking. That's a 5-year-old baby.
Lake County School District tells us there was a crisis team on hand at Andrew School this morning to talk to any parents, faculty, students having any troubles coping with this tragedy, and they will be on hand as needed throughout the week. In the meantime, if you have any information, family and police are urging you to call Fort Myers Police or Crime Stoppers. Of course, you can remain anonymous with any type of tip. We're live in Fort Myers tonight. Sara, Belsole, Fox 4 in your corner.